Most people miss the moment when attraction begins, not because it isn't there, but because it's silent. No confession, no obvious signal, just a shift in energy you can't explain but can feel. A glance held half a second too long, a smile that lingers after the conversation ends. And suddenly, you're wondering if it's all in your head, or if something real is unfolding right in front of you. The truth is, when someone likes you, their heart speaks long before their mouth does. And if you know what to look for, you'll never confuse kindness for interest again. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see what you've been missing all along. Comment your location and let us know where you're watching from. Subscribe to the channel for more deep insights on attraction, psychology, and human connection. When a girl likes you, her attention doesn't announce itself loudly. It reorganizes itself around you. Psychologically, attention is one of the most expensive resources we have. We give it carefully, often unconsciously, to what matters most. So when you notice that her focus consistently returns to you, despite distractions, despite other people in the room, that's not coincidence. That's priority. She may be scrolling on her phone, laughing with friends, or engaged in another conversation, but the moment you speak, her awareness subtly shifts. Eye contact lingers just a little longer. Her reactions arrive faster. Your words seem to land with more weight. Attraction sharpens perception. And when someone likes you, you become a reference point in their mental map of the moment. What's important here is not intensity, but consistency. Anyone can be attentive once, but selective attention reveals itself over time. She remembers things you didn't think were memorable, how you take your coffee, a story you mentioned weeks ago, a small frustration you casually shared. Memory is attention stretched across time. Philosophically, to remember someone is to carry them with you even when they're not present. That's why these details matter. They show that you occupy space in her inner world, not just the physical one. And that's where real attraction begins, not in grand gestures, but in quiet mental presence. You'll also notice that her attention adapts to your emotional state. If you're serious, she becomes still. If you're playful, she mirrors that energy. This mirroring isn't manipulation, it's alignment. Human beings instinctively synchronize with those they feel drawn to. It's how we test compatibility without words. When her tone, pace, or body language subtly matches yours, it's her nervous system saying, I'm with you. Even silence feels different, less awkward, more intentional. Silence in this context isn't absence, it's comfort. But here's the nuance most people miss. Selective attention doesn't always look like eagerness. Sometimes it looks like restraint. She might not interrupt. She might not chase. She might even pull back slightly. Because attention doesn't just reveal interest, it also reveals self-awareness. A woman who values herself often regulates how much she shows. So don't confuse calm presence with lack of feeling. In many cases, it's the opposite. It's controlled interest, not absent interest. The deeper insight is this: when someone consistently gives you their attention, they are giving you time, mental energy, and emotional availability. Those are currencies you can't fake and can't sustain without genuine feeling. So instead of searching for dramatic signs, learn to notice where attention flows when no one is trying to impress anyone. Because attention, in its purest form, always tells the truth. And once you learn to read that truth, you stop guessing and start responding with clarity and confidence. Before attraction ever becomes language, it becomes behavior. Long before someone decides what to say, their body has already decided how it feels. This is because the body is governed by instinct, not strategy. It reacts faster than the mind can edit. So, when a girl likes you, her body begins to orient toward you in ways that are subtle, natural, and difficult to fake. You'll notice that her posture opens when you're around. Arms relax, shoulders soften. Her feet angle in your direction even when her attention seems elsewhere. These are not conscious signals. They are neurological responses tied to safety and interest. Proximity is another quiet indicator. People move closer to what they're drawn to without realizing it. She might choose the seat next to you instead of across the room. She may lean in when you speak, even if she can hear you perfectly well. And it's not about invading space, it's about reducing distance. Attraction is, at its core, a desire for closeness. When someone consistently shortens that distance, they're revealing more than words ever could. Eye behavior tells a similar story. Eye contact that lingers slightly longer than socially necessary, followed by a soft breakaway, isn't accidental. It's a loop: connection, retreat, connection again. This rhythm allows her to feel closeness without overexposure. Blinking slows, pupils may dilate. Her gaze returns to you even when there's no obvious reason to look. These micro movements happen beneath conscious control, which is why they're so reliable. The eyes don't negotiate, they respond. Touch, when it appears, is rarely dramatic. It's light, brief, and seemingly incidental. A tap on the arm during laughter, a brush of the hand when passing something to you, a moment that could be dismissed if you weren't paying attention. But psychologically, touch is a boundary test. It's the body asking, is this safe? Is this welcome? When touch repeats, even subtly, it signals growing comfort and interest. Silence often accompanies these moments, and that silence matters. Comfort in shared silence suggests emotional ease, not emptiness. What's crucial to understand is that these signals only matter when they're congruent. One gesture means nothing on its own. But when posture, proximity, eye contact, and comfort align over time, they form a pattern. And patterns reveal truth. This is where many people get confused. They overanalyze words and under-observe behavior. But the body rarely lies. It simply expresses what the mind hasn't yet admitted. There's also restraint here, and that's important. A woman who is emotionally aware may limit how much she shows, especially early on. Interest doesn't always look like boldness. Often, it looks like control. The absence of exaggerated movement can actually signal depth, not disinterest. Calm presence is not neutrality, it's regulation. So instead of waiting for a verbal confession, learn to read the language that's always speaking. The body communicates attraction honestly, quietly, and consistently. When you learn to listen to it, you stop forcing moments and start responding to what's already there. And that shift, from chasing clarity to recognizing it, is where confidence begins. Attraction deepens not through grand gestures, but through emotional access. When a girl likes you, she doesn't just want your attention. She wants to know if it's safe to let you see her. This is where emotional windows begin to open. She shares stories that aren't impressive but revealing. Small frustrations, personal opinions, moments of uncertainty. Psychologically, this matters because vulnerability is a risk, and people only take risks where they sense potential connection. These moments aren't accidental, they're invitations. Quiet ones, but deliberate. You'll notice her questions change. They move beyond what you do and into how you think. She asks for your perspective, not because she needs advice, but because she's testing resonance. Do you understand her? Do you respond with presence or performance? This is emotional calibration. She's observing whether your inner world aligns with hers. And when you respond thoughtfully, without trying to impress, something important happens. Trust begins to form. There's often playfulness here too. Gentle teasing, subtle challenges, moments that test emotional boundaries without crossing them. This isn't manipulation, it's exploration. Play creates a low-risk environment where emotions can surface safely. Laughter becomes a bridge, not a distraction. And if she allows you to see her emotional reactions, what excites her, what irritates her, what softens her, that's not casual. That's selective exposure. What many people misunderstand is that emotional openness doesn't always look like intensity. Sometimes it looks like stillness, comfortable pauses, shared silence that doesn't need filling. In philosophy, presence is defined not by action, but by attention without demand. When she sits with you in that space, unrushed, unguarded, she's signaling emotional availability. She's not performing, she's being. And just like attention and body language, emotional windows are about consistency. One personal story means little on its own, but repeated moments of openness, curiosity, and emotional risk create a pattern. That pattern says, I want to be known by you. And that is one of the clearest signs of attraction there is. The deeper insight is this: attraction isn't about convincing someone to like you. It's about recognizing when someone is already opening themselves to connection. When you learn to notice these emotional invitations and respond with patience, respect, and clarity, you stop chasing interest and start meeting it. And in that shift, you don't just understand attraction better, you become someone worth opening up to.